So both teams ready to go. Best of 5 set match here in the Sears Centre. It'll be Canada to serve with Graham Vigras. And away we go, Canada versus China. Shot down inside the block. The wing spiker Dai for China. It's the first point on the board. That's very often why the captains choose to receive serve. They get the first opportunity to attack. Oh my goodness me, what a start. Well, he's been an absolute star to watch this year, Jerome Vernon-Evans. And you can see with that hit why he is the leading scorer. This is volleyball for Oniko in Warsaw in Poland. Free net earned early doors by setter Brett Walsh. Dai again through the wing, just rolls it off the fingers. Hogue with a nice easy pickup. And we've got an injury here. So let called to check that Jerome Vernon-Evans is okay. I think we're going to have a medical timeout here. But looked to me like a nasty fall as he came down from that 3-man block. Well, it looked like he may have taken a hit from the middle blocker, which has just moved him across towards the net post, and it's always a concern, ankles and knees for the players. And there we go, takes a hit, lands, and the right leg just buckles. And that is not great. That looks like a right ankle injury or knee injury. Well, fortunately able to walk away from the court, but I'm not sure that Vernon-Evans is going to be able to play any further role in this game. And where ankles are concerned, if he's popped an ankle, and I'm afraid he's in serious bother there. He's in a lot of pain. And, immediately medical attention for Jerome Vernon-Evans. And after such a huge first hit, just a reminder of what this man can do. Canada have lost their key player. Jerome Vernon-Evans off, and we do hope that that is not as bad as it looks initially. So, on we go. Number 16, Ryan Sclater, in for the injured Jerome Vernon-Evans. China immediately hand another point to their opponents. Yeah, good swing from Dai. Started the game solidly enough as the number 1 for China. Concerns remain for the Canadian opposite at the moment, off court and looking in quite a lot of pain on the sidelines. Oh, it's a great block. Really good shutdown on Canada's tallest player, Chris Van Berkel. This is volleyball in Frankfurt in Germany. That's a really nice read. Side by side, Chen, the middle blocker, getting most of that one. Very well played by China, all completely legal as far as the referee's concerned, but Canada sort that out. Van Berkel gets his own back, putting that one away with some considerable force. But this is a cheeky play. Canada, though, not phased at all, just getting the ball into the setter, and at 99.7 kilometers per hour, that's a pretty big hit from Van Berkel. We'll see bigger, though. Good touch. Great dig from the Canadian captain, Perrin. Well, as I said at the top, China's ball control is good. When they can get it into the setter, then they will shift it around very quickly at the net. Key to that is trying to put the big Canadian middle boys under pressure, and Van Berkel won't want to move laterally too quickly. And on that occasion, playing catch-up all the way. bit of a timing issue, but that's a really well-delayed hit from Ryan Schlader. Plays his volleyball for German club Lüneburg. And Berkel back to the line. Even the middle players these days weighing in with some pretty terrific serving, but Berkel, a jump float serve player rather than jump topspin. Well, it's clearly unsettled Canada. Sharon Vernon Evans' injury. No news yet as to the situation for the 20-year-old opposite spiker for Canada. We'll update you as soon as we have anything. Well, the communication for Canada was superb, and it's resulted in a super spike for Ryan Schlader. You heard the call, one blocker, so Schlader knew he could unload on this one. That is a sweet set from Brett Walsh, followed by an even sweeter hit. Schlader to serve, 5-all. No rhythm at the moment for this Canadian team. They're hanging in there, just waiting to click into gear. Serve. Nicely controlled. And another shot off the block and away from Schlader. 2 kills in a row for the replacement opposite. Fantastic shot. Just leaping high and level with that front row of the crowd, but Canada still can't find anything from the service line. Serve for China, middle blocker, Rao Xuan, 22 years of age, from the Fujian province. Easy pass for Hogue, who's looking in pretty decent nick. That's unfortunate. Backcourt offense, and remember, for Ryan Schlader, that 3-meter line is out of bounds. You can't stand on that. And Canada, disgruntled going into the first technical timeout, 2 points down to China. First chance to see and hear the coaches working, always a treat on the VNL. When it's thumbs up from Jerome Vernon Evans. Yeah, little turn of the ankle as he landed, just a little pop to the side, so hopefully that's not serious. Not sure we'll see him again in today's game, but hopefully that's something that can be treated relatively easily. It's a real privilege here on the VNL to be able to just drop in like this and see the coaches at work. 2 legends of the game, Raul Lozano, communicating in Spanish, translated into Chinese with the aid of the multimedia clipboard, just to try and get his message across to the players. So good start for China, 8-6 up. That's exceptionally good. Another very nice pass from Canada, and that means that their setter, Brett Walsh, has all the options open. Can run whatever play he wants here. And once that middle player established some kind of disturbance for the Chinese middle blocker, then it was an easy feed out wide to Perrin. He doesn't miss those. Graham Vigras at the line. Canadian middle blocker, 29 years of age, also plays in Poland. And for whatever reason, Canada cannot buy a serve at the moment. This is not great from the baseline. Zhang Chuan has been serving well this year. Goes a little off pace to make sure it goes in. Easy pass for Canada and a very nice block. And Dai, the wing spiker, has started well today. Alongside Chen in the front court. Pretty sure Dai got most of this. No, it actually went back onto the diagonal from Dai's block, and Chen getting a good shut down there. Slightly firmer serve, beautifully defended. Now, Perrin asking for a touch. Referee agrees. If China disagree, then they'll have to challenge, but no, China accepting their fate on that occasion. How about this from Blair Ban? Swallow dive for the pickup. Hustles in behind to just give a bit of support to Perrin. 26-year-old setter Brett Walsh with the serve for Canada. Good dig. Ban looks to be on form at the start of this one. The libero for Canada in the white shirt, but couldn't get to that. Well, terrific player is Blair Ban. Plays his volleyball with Chaumont in France, 26 years of age. 110 caps this evening for him. Back to Dai at the service line. Oh dear, he's got that all wrong. Well, serves do not come worse than that, I have to say. That was a shocker, as Raul Lozano well knows. Good swing from Perrin. Dai just about getting hands on that one. Easy pick up for Ban. Hogue works it off the block. Canada get a reuse. That's smart thinking from Glenn Hogue. I knew I'd do it once. It's Nick Hogue, his son. There's Glenn. Dad watches on proudly, but yeah, Chinese block giving Canada a decent workout here at the moment. Well, I think the start that both teams have made to this game, especially with the number of service errors being made, just underlines the pressure that both teams feel heading into week 4. Canada, victory imperative for China. They have to start winning. Languishing at the bottom of the table. Van Berkel spears his serve over to the sideline. An easy read. Oh, that's huge. That's a great hit from Nick Hogue. Knew the diagonal was open, so the route to a super spike was there. 104.1 kilometers per hour. The boys are starting to crank it up out there. Van Berkel again. Watch him just guide this serve across on the diagonal. China respond with a really decent attack. It's a very nice run from Rao Shuhan through the middle. Nicely found by Zhang Guojun, the setter. Takes Zhang back to the service line. Good swing from the left-hander. Hogue. And Canada now just starting to tick over a little more effectively. Lozano will be fully aware that Canada now just starting to take it up a gear. And the problem for China will come when they start to hit the serves big. They're going to look to break down this Chinese service reception now. Sclater, decent pass. And a nice pipe attack from the back line. Well, with the exception of Dai's service, he started pretty impressively in this game. It was a fine attack. Wing spiker Liu Libin to serve. This is volleyball in Beijing. Oh, this is too good from Canada. Both teams really exploiting the central part of the net, opening up that middle corridor. The more you can do that, the more you can pin the middle blocker, the more space it creates out wide. Nick Hogue, decent hit, and that's going to be the fragile part of Dai's game. They're going to pick on him for every hit he makes in the front court. Nick Hogue and the Canadian team are going to try and find him on service reception. Raul Lozano calling a timeout for China. He realises the momentum is back now with the North Americans.
La pelota va quick, tengo los brazos delante. No ellos cambian. Es de la defensa. Va derecho, ¿ok?
I think the other setter connects with him a lot better. The way to see it. The other setter connects with him a lot better. Okay.
So a dynamic timeout from Ra Lozano, just trying to get his team fired up. Whereas Glenn Hogue just a little more low-key. Happy to see his team now starting to tick things over pretty nicely. So Dai and Liu leading the scoring through the wings for China. 5 and 4 points respectively. Well, the timeout from China has worked. Got to Nick Hogue, stopped his serving rhythm. China back in the lead. Impressive start from Ra through the middle. Wasn't so good though. It's catching. Both teams have got serving disease at the moment. Just not working from the baseline. Now Graham Vigras, a lower risk serve, so should be able to put this jump float in. Puts a bit of fizz on it. Now Canada have the ball under control. And again. Well, fantastic. That end on camera just showing us the movement of the players. Saw how busy the Canadian attackers were to get to their lines. And then setter Brett Walsh just spreading it around along the net, making it very tricky for the Chinese blockers to get anything effective at the net. Now second technical timeout at 16 points arrives. Canada have their noses in front.
Sometimes you just bring it across, okay? I'm on the jump. I'm on the jump. Let's go. Keep pushing, guys. Keep pushing.
Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram posts. That's hashtag VNL or hashtag be part of the game.
So Ryan Sclater on for the injured Sharon Vernon Evans. If you've just joined us, looked like an ankle tweak for the leading VNL scorer. Hit one an enormous spike, did Vernon Evans, but then just turned his ankle. We think he's going to be okay. It certainly was giving the thumbs up to his rest of his teammates. But Ryan Sclater, very talented athlete, 25-year-old on in that opposite position and has started pretty well. Vigras back to serve. Shaped like he was going to hit a jump float serve, but then put a bit of topspin on it. There's the float serve back. Easy pass for Dai. And it's coming back over. China to go again. Oh, nicely run. See Quick on the reverse. Good pass from the middle blocker. And just running around the back of Jan. So instead of hitting that quick ball in the front, just hit it around the back of the Chinese setter and hit it well. Business end then of this opening set. The regular theme at the moment continues. So substitution for China. Here comes number 8, Wang Jingyi, 21-year-old opposite player from Shandong. Replaces China's top scorer, Jiang, having a pretty quiet game up until now. Ra Lozano, coach, has seen enough. Good front line now for Canada. Brett Walsh to serve. 3 attackers in the front court. That's impressive. Really nice flow to that attack. It's Liu that puts it away on the pipe. Fine set. The double substitution has an immediate effect. Yao Chen on as the backup setter. So essentially China going to try and flip their rotation. Keep the big boys in the front line. Oh, that's sweet. That's a really good hit from the Canadian captain. John Gordon Perrin moved from playing volleyball in China to a contract in Russia. Plays for Bulgaria now. He's a big unit, is Perrin. And when he's got good control of the ball on serve reception, he's a really scary attacker. Good serve as well. Canada looking for that 2-point cushion. Might be able to get it here. Ban forced a bump set from the front court. Hogue goes off pace. Cheeky shot. The block was lined up for Canada. Still can't put it away though. Well, that's brilliant. And full credit to Ryan Sclater. It's not always the big shots, the impressive shots that win you points. And while the hit was superb, there was a little soft block volley in the middle of that rally, just to keep it in play before Brett Walsh fed him on the reverse. Full marks Ryan Sclater. 2-point cushion achieved for Canada. Does that clip the line? Officials say yes. If Canada disagree, then they will have to challenge. That's something we haven't had yet in set one. Both teams still have 2 challenges left. Another substitution for China. Du Haijiang comes in, the 24-year-old wing spiker, to replace Dai, I suspect, for slightly more stability across the back line on the pass. Few gambles, a bit of tinkering with the lineup from China's coach. Canada with the ball at the net, just able to run everything. And generally speaking, that pass has gone into the green zone a lot. And Brett Walsh has made the most of it. 97.4 kilometers per hour. I can promise you that's off pace. Canadian hitters just making sure of accuracy, making sure of the kills. 2018 Canada in this race to 25. No, that's under the net from the Chinese attacker. Just a little bit too tight for Liu. And when you're traveling forward, you're trying to turn all that momentum forwards into a vertical jump. Sometimes you just keep moving. 3-point cushion now for Canada. Van Berkel again. China have struggled with his jump float serve. It's a bit better. And the new man on court, Du. Oh. Time for some showboating from Brett Walsh. And the man who plays for NAC Rosslare in Belgium fires a bee quick at Graham Vigras, who was ready in the middle. This is a sweet play. Vigras knew it was coming, and it arrived. Absolutely spot on. China timeout.
Tenemos que estar más adelante, están demasiado atrasados. ¿Okay? De nuevo, un side out. El pase tranquilo, que no es complicado el saque.
No timeouts remaining for Raul Lozano. He's a brilliant coach, but this is a massive demand. Conversing via a translator to the players, and I always wonder what kind of sugar coating the translator puts on the words of the coach. So asking for a bit more speed, definitely, from the replacement setter on court. That double substitution wants the sets just to be travelling out of the hands a bit faster. Canada, though, running the show at the moment. Nice block. And again. Well, it doesn't quite come back. Excellent effort from the libero, Tong Jiahua. Just couldn't get it back in play. And a reversal of the double substitution. So essentially, Raul Lozano just making sure that China have 6 tall attackers in the front court through 6 rotations. It's an effective tactical substitution, and it worked initially. But you off, Jung back in. And the starting setter back on court, the other part of that double substitution. Another good touch from the libero. Oh, goodness me. I don't know what Perrin knew about that one. And Canada have come up with the play, but I don't think their captain, John Gordon Perrin, was fully aware of that defensive play. I think that ball was hit so hard. All he could do was duck for cover and managed to get a pretty decent touch on it. Kept it in play, and then Ho just tips off the block inside for a cheeky point. 6 set points, Canada. Nice. Oh, Canada with some terrific defensive touches at the moment. But a very good zero-tempo attack from China. It was fast. 1 set point saved. I suspect of a little consolation for the Chinese team. Setter Jan then needs 5 serves to get level. And Canada stop it. First time of asking. Good offense. Perrin from the back line on the pipe attack. Quite where he wanted the ball to be from Brett Walsh, but it was good enough. That after a rather tentative start with lots and lots of service errors, Canada play their way into top gear. And that's impressive. 25-19 then. Canada lead here in Chicago by 1 set to love. Well, there's the injured man. Let's hope that is nothing too serious. Looks like just a tweak to the side of the foot for Sharon Evans. And hopefully he'll be able to get himself fit again to play next week. But I think this week we're not going to see too much more of the big opposite for Canada. So eventually, the highlights in the end belonging to Canada in set 1. Service reception. In the number 2 shirt. Jiang Chuan. See Spike is still on court. For me, pick of the middle blockers for China. Ra with the service to get things underway in set 2. And right on cue, another horrible serve. The 2 Argentinian coaches, Raul Lozano alongside Juan Manuel Semarella, just discussing that fact, but not much you can do about it mid-game. Figueras to serve, jump float onto Dai. That's their service target. No. The number 1. It's not quite flowing, I have to say, for Canada. When the ball is right on Brett Walsh's head, then offense has been really powerful. Forced away from the net, setting out a system. It's gone pretty high and pretty wide. Decent pass from Blair Ban. Complete mix-up, but well saved by Van Berkel. China have to go again here. Well used by Dai. The presence of mind, realising that ball was right underneath the arms of Van Berkel and Sclater. So instead of hitting, just delayed his attack and tipped it off the hands. But China don't want to be doing this too much. They don't have to have repeated hits against one of the biggest blocks in the VNL. Decent serve. Just too long. Clinton Hogue just about manages to limbo his way out of trouble there. We've seen it several times so far this summer on the VNL. Serves being hit so hard and fast, they're actually hitting players who are trying to get out of the way. A serve from Walsh. And it's been a while. Canada finally putting some pressure on at the service line, and Walsh gets an ace to his name, the Canadian setter. Lovely off-pace hit. Watch this, puts full force into it, looks like he's going to hit it hard and just rolls around the back of the ball to beat Dai. Oh, there we go. That's the Canadian block functioning. Two of the tallest players on court side by side. Gordon Perrin, the captain, alongside Canada's tallest player, 2 meters and 10, Lucas Van Berkel. That's only going down. Easier pass. That's the one element of the Chinese game that has worked so far today. Middle attacks have been good. Jan has been feeding his two middle players nicely. And a contact point of 320. It's not bad. Dai to serve. Nice pass from Canada. The Canadian captain will be kicking himself after that when he could see all of the court. The ball was right in front of him. Just wanted to tip it straight down. And he's just been a little too cute with that one. Blair Band's turn to tumble out of the way of the service. 9 opponent errors for China at the moment. Handed over to Canada. Into the first technical timeout in set 2. Perrin hit at the service line, puts enough pressure on China and might see a challenge here. Free feeling that ball had hit the floor. China disagreeing very strongly, but if you disagree with the referee, you have 2 challenges a set. You can question. I think the Chinese defender finally saying no, that probably did just touch the floor. Nice attack, really good feed in at last. China's top scorer getting himself into the game. Unbelievably, that is Jiang's first point in the match. That is not how things are supposed to go for the opposite spiker. Usually the leading scorer, usually getting through quite a heavy workload. Hogue, off the hands and out, all worked. Sure, you can hear the Canadian back line calling to the attackers, letting them know how many blockers are there. 3 guys you heard on this. And that meant that Ryan Sclater didn't take the block on, just tipped it. Canada nice and patient, went again. Hogue puts the ball away. Takes him to 5 points, Perrin on 6. And a good read from Vigras. It's just brilliant. What a player. It's no surprise that the big clubs around the world have looked to secure John Gordon Perrin's services. Bulgaria at the moment have him, but he's He's a very impressive player. First technical timeout arrives. Canada already have control of the set.
19, he's really just standing jump. I mean, no height intervention. The guys come to the ball nice and high. Look at his hands are soft. Like that last ball, I didn't hit hard. It's like, keep going, Chris. Keep pushing. Let's go.
Well, the Canadian captain, as I said, is the player that makes this team tick. There's just something a little bit different with him on court. He's a good leader. He leads by example. Super block alongside Van Berkel, but my goodness me, he gives it a crunch. You could do without that error, but there we go. Just proving he is human. Perrin leading scoring at the moment for Canada with 7 points. 6 attacks, 1 block, and he would dearly love to stick a couple of aces in the bank account as well. Now, Lucas Van Berkel has hit a nice slanting jump float serve onto the front court wing spiker, causing him a few problems. It's a better pass. And a decent bit of defense from the tall middle player. Perrin overcooking it though. So trying to do eventually get themselves off of 5. Back to the line, it's the setter, Jung. Left-hander, a lot of setters are left-handed because of the way that they stand at the net. Allows them to spike that second touch if they don't want to set it. As is usually the case with a lot of tall setters around the world. They're all brilliant attackers as well. Just proving it there with a huge jump serve. Bearing in mind China's problems at the service line so far in this match, that is very welcome from Coach Lozano's point of view. Second one in, well passed by Ban. Oh, that's a phenomenal hit. Canada were all over that one. Liu has managed to negotiate the 3-man block and Canada's best defender. In fact, Hogue didn't jump in the end. That was where the room was on the diagonal. And this is a very good comeback. 3 points down at the technical timeout, back to level terms. And another steaming jump serve. That's a huge hit. That really is a massive hit from Zhang. 2 ace serves then for the Chinese setter in this service run. Puts China into the lead, and Canada won't be too happy about this. So decent contribution, 2 points in attack for the Chinese setter. Another good hit. Glenn Hogue passes that with ease. Ryan Sclater goes super quick on the reverse. It's a much better feed from Brett Walsh. Blocker's read it, but just too fast out of the hand. Giving Sclater a nice angle to work with. Just getting himself ahead of the ball here, Sclater. Body and shoulder through too early. Can't snap that hand over the top of the ball and get the top spin on it that you're looking for. Liu to serve. Good touch from the libero. And the man in the blue shirt has earned his team another point there. Tong Jia Hua has been fabulous in defence, the 26-year-old libero. Hasn't had much to do on service reception because Canada just not targeting him, trying to go away to the front court wing spiker in particular. Well, there comes a point when you just have to say no more. Service errors, you just can't keep doing this. It's painful from China's point of view. Nick Hogue rattles one into play, nicely passed. And at last, China's leading scorer has come to the party, and that's going to help them a lot. Jiang Chuan, 24 years of age. He player that played in Beijing. So we'll certainly know Canada's captain from his time in China. And there's that dilemma from the service line exposed. Tough serve, break the Canadian pass down, win points. Easy serve, comes back with interest. But you've got to get the balance right. And at the moment, China's still making too many service errors. Canada, though, still a point down. Well, there was nowhere else that ball could go. It was so tight to the net that only the middle set was available to Zhang. And Van Berkel worked it out and committed. A monster block for Van Berkel. Good read. Vigras, the other middle blocker with the serve. And that's a decent set. That's a really good effort from Zhang on the reverse. And now Zhang looking for his main man in the number 2 shirt. Zhang trying to find his opposite as many times as he can at the moment. He knows he's hitting a hot streak here as we go through the middle phase of this second set. Well, it doesn't always have to be power. Finesse can get the job done too. Although that was finesse out of necessity, not the best set from Brett Walsh. That arrived underneath Van Berkel's armpit. But he dug it out, tipped it in court, and that was fine.
Wait. Oh!
No, too easy. Second middle attack, not hit with maximum firepower by Van Berkel, and that really should have been defended. Liu looking a little sheepish after this one. Now, good 3 rotations here with Brett Walsh, the setter on the back line. So maximum offensive power. His serve's been good as well. Oh, that's a sweet set. That is a really sweet set. Well, I've said it before, there's not a stat that really tells you that a setter has done something special like this. And a free net, probably the only thing that does it. And that's Zhang earning his team another free net. That's basically a training hit for Zhang. Go get it. Shout the Canadian back line, go get it, Bursey. That's Van Berkel's nickname. And he didn't get it, but the Chinese middle blocker thought that's where it was going. So another free net on the diagonal. Good touch from Walsh. Hogue goes off pace. All the room in the middle of the court that he wanted to put that away, to take Canada into the second technical timeout with a 2-point lead. And China, I'm afraid, just starting to make things too easy for Canada once again. Poland would have been, I think, a bit of an issue. Italy with a commanding victory, 3-0 over Serbia. Well, Perrin needs to be better than that. He knows that. Coming off the back of a timeout. Quite difficult to put your serve in court with any real pressure. Dye, off pace, easy pass for Ban. And that's a really beautiful attack. And it's all established because of plays that have happened before. Brett Walsh has put that element of doubt in the Chinese middle blocker's mind. That's where they thought it was going to Van Berkel. It doesn't. Just pops it over the top. On that wonderful pipe attack from the captain, Perrin. Moves Perrin to double figures now. 10 points in the match for Canada. And again, there we go. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And when your hitters are hot, try and keep feeding them until somebody stops them. 2 pipe attacks for Perrin, takes him to 11. And a timeout for China. And Lozano's team in trouble again.
Con la defensa nos paramos 1 metro adelante. Si hay primer tiempo, tomamos defensa. Nos paramos más adelante. Pero hacemos lectura. Hubo 2 primeros tiempos y está haciendo pipe and quick. Paciencia porque el partido se la va.
So Canada, having had a 3-point lead at the last technical timeout, lost that. They've regained it at the second technical, so go into the business end with an 18-15 lead eventually. So Canada in command at the back end of this second set. Van Berkel with another serve. This time doesn't quite get that angle on it that he was serving nicely with earlier in the match. But he's contributed, certainly. Van Berkel now on 5 points, 3 kills, 2 blocks. Now back to the serve that caused Canada problems. This is the serve that put China back in the lead, and he's only ripped another ace. But he's a pretty cool customer, isn't he, the Chinese setter, Zhang Guojun. Just looks a little bit fed up to me, but he won't be fed up after this. Battered that right onto the line. Nick Hogue beaten all ends up, and that's a smart call on the timeout from Dad Glenn. Just make China think about it.
Let's protect the middle. Okay. Give it one more.
Can't do that one, too.
Yeah. 1, 2. Let's go. Stay normal. Stay normal for 1 more.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's too easy to get drawn into doing other things based on one serve, and I think Blair Bann and Nick Hogue making a perfectly valid point. Leave the line. If he wants to try and hit a line again, good luck. Just protect the middle of the court. That's where the servers who are hitting the ball really hard will tend to end up. It's usually just a serve now and again. Look at that, 3 aces from the setter for China. Goes middle, hits Hogue. Canada need to side this ball out. They can't do it. Zhang on the reverse to Jiang. And China once again pressing all the right buttons here. And it's all down to their server. And the playmaker for China is hitting some massive serves, but he's also making some pretty decent sets to Zhang on the reverse. Two-man show going on at the moment between those two. Playing China back into the game. Switch of angle. Oh, and that's going to be a carry. Called against the setter, Brett Walsh. Ball just dwelling in the hand a little bit too long. Certainly too long for referee Yuri Ortiz's patience. And the Dominican Republic referee calls a fault. China, courtesy yet again of a great service run from Zhang, are in the lead. Hogue at last works it off the block and out, but Canada go from 3 up to level. Now we're back to anyone can win this. Ryan Sclater, 7 points so far. Service hasn't been great though from Sclater. Just not got his timing right at the baseline. Some concerns here. Unfortunately, the following servers after Zhang not been as effective for China. Easier pass for Perrin, wide to Hogue. And Hogue hammers it past the block, but the block has touched the net by the looks of it. So fault has the point to Canada. eyes on the prize and gives that the full treatment, just sucking the block into the net. No. I think he fancied a bit of revenge there, having been beaten on the line by Jan. He's trying to hit the line himself, but he's got nowhere near the court. And Canada playing a dicey game here. Back to Rao, the man that started this whole set off with the serve in the net. Oh, good hit. Off the block and out, and Dye just turning to ask the rest of his teammates, did that hit Ryan Sclater on the way back pass? That's why he's watching this replay. No, just missed his legs. 21 all. Bigras on to Dye, not a great pass from him. But that is a very good hit. I'm quite surprised Jan went to his wing spiker there. He was going to force the pace to Jiang, but that's a nice bit of variation. China have not used their double substitution just yet, and they haven't used it here. Going to let Jiang serve first, then we might see a change from Lazaro. Or we might just decide to keep the boys out on court that are doing a good job. Perrin misses for Canada. China moving dangerously close here to claiming a set. Now, we're going to get a challenge from Canada. John Gordon-Perrin is not convinced that this has touched the hands of the block, but Canada going to have a little ask here. And you can only ask, did it touch the hands in the block or not? If it did, Canada take the point. If it didn't, we stay as we are. China 23-21. Great addition to the game, this, the technology. Players, coaches, fans, fully invested. Everybody knows how it plays out now. Here we go. Hawkeye will tell us. I can't see a finger moving there on the block. No touch. Point China. I have to say, little blocker Chen Longhai looked completely confident that had missed. So Glenn Hogue going to the next best thing, calls a timeout.
Stay aggressive. Passive block, yeah. It is super passive. Super passive. It's like this? Yeah, he doesn't look like he's got strong hand. Yeah. Good, man. Nice. Hello, guys. One ball. Let's go. Yeah, stay aggressive. Come on. 1, 2. Yeah, let's go.
Well, looks to me like Tyler Sander, the normal starting setter for Canada, has taken the sweatshirt off and he's ready to go. Might be the last throw of the dice here for Brett Walsh.
Sub. I got a sub. I got a sub.
Here we go.
Yes, 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 yes.
And change up. Brings DeRocco onto court, so not a setting substitution, but a wing spiker substitution. Glenn Hogue has been labouring against the block out there. He's passed very well, though. But Jason DeRocco going to get a shot here, the man who plays for FC Tokyo in Japan. And all that stoppage and the substitution just getting into Jiang's head. And as we see so many times in international volleyball, timeout. It's followed by a Visera. Canadian setter serves. China need the ball on the floor. It's on into the net. Well, China can challenge this if they think it hit the net band and then hit the block. They can challenge. Now, do you think this hit Van Berkel's arms? It may just have brushed them. Away, though. It's a block. It's down. Last timeout for China. Both the coaches have burned both timeouts. He'll be very pleased with the way his team has played this set, but it's been largely down to one man. It's the two service runs of Jan that have really done the damage. Chinese setter. So 23-all, Canada recovering the situation. Good front line here with the setter Walsh in the backcourt serving. He goes off pace to Dai. And Jiang gets the ball. Good dig from DeRocco. Perrin not able to get it away. Dai attacks. Oh, that's a fantastic block. And a monster block from John Gordon Perrin, the Canadian captain. What a time to come up with a play like that. Didn't initially put the ball away, but stayed completely focused here, realised the hit was coming, and got great penetration on the net. Dai shut down to give Canada set point. They were in some serious trouble in this one, but they've turned it around nicely. Walsh with the serve. Dai with the pass. Jiang goes again. China have to attack once more through Dai. He tips. Well read by Walsh. Still in play, but a free ball here for China to attack. And it's blocked. 2 in a row from John Gordon Perrin and his fellow middle blocker, Lucas van Berkel. That's a great front line for Canada. Those two players, tall and mobile, and not letting China get away with anything. And that's some pickup from Walsh. Absolutely threw himself at the ball, the Canadian setter. He might just have done enough to keep himself out on the floor for set 3. But it's the skipper who got the shutdowns to close the deal. 25-23, little closer than Canada would have liked there. The lead here in Chicago by 2 sets to love. 25-19, 25-23. The rather sorry sight of Sharon Vernon Evans is seen hobbling from one side of the court to the other. The fact that he's not been taken to hospital immediately for a scan on the ankle is positive. Physio believing that just a little pop, as we call it, of the ankle. Hopefully with some ice and some rest, he'll be back in business pretty soon. There he is. Seems to be positive. Every time the team come and talk to him, he's been given the thumbs up, so that's all good. So, for Raul Lozano and his Chinese team, nearly, but not quite. Canada lead 2-love. Nicely done by Canada. Glenn Ho looks like he's going to put his son Nick back on court. So the brief spell out on the floor for Jason DeRocco. He did make a couple of decent passes and one really good pickup. Just helped Canada get it across the line, but he goes back to the bench. But at the moment, Canada really will put this lead down to their captain. Played a vital role in that last set. 13 points on the board for John Gordon Perrin. So it doesn't look like there are too many changes down there on the floor from either coach as we head towards set 3. 3-love victory, just to remind you, 3-love or 3-1 gets you the maximum score of 3 points to put towards your league total. 3-2 victory gets you the 2 points, but the team that loses 3-2 picks up a point, so Canada don't want to dice with that. Poland dropping a point today effectively with that 3-2 win over Argentina. And That's one of the teams Canada are trying to chase down. Well, sticking with the theme, then. Shove the first serve in the net. This time it's Canadian middle blocker Graham Vigras. I think we can overlook that, though. He's had a decent game up until now. Complete mix-up from China. That should have been a free ball, Canada, and they've managed to make a complete rickets of that one. Oh dear, on both sides of the net. Well, nothing will please a veteran coach more than a shoddy bit of passing. Now, here we go. Danger serve, straight up for China. Jan show at the moment. That's in, say China. Referee Ortiz agrees. Canada, if they don't like it, they can challenge. 2 challenges per set. If you win your challenge, you keep it. If you lose it, you lose it. I'm not sure Glenn Hogan is completely convinced here, but he's going to have a go. So, the question is, was the ball in or was the ball out? Remember, as the ball compresses, if it touches the line, that's good enough. But this one wasn't travelling fast, it was skidding along, so this has got to be clean in. Hawkeye, then, tell us, is it in or out? It is out. Quite comfortably so, actually. 1 challenge lost. One challenge won, my apologies. So eagle eyes of Coach Glenn Hogan getting it right. Yeah, that's another good feed. Enjoying his time on court, Brett Walsh. Pretty good pass at the moment from the Canadian players. Just allows Walsh to feed these attackers as he wishes. He's done well to keep this middle channel open. He's a slightly awkward hitter, isn't he, Dar? He's a tall man, but some of his movements, not that graceful, but he's effective. Block really struggling to get a line on him. And when Jam keeps feeding the ball as fast and flat as he does, the blockers just can't get settled.
Wait. Oh.
Good attempt in defense. To hear the communication to the blockers, just telling them to wait here, stay on the floor a bit longer, but no, they went up and down and easily passed. Strong start to set 3 by China, but they had their opportunities really to put it away in set 2 and they failed to do so. Another ace. This is remarkable stuff. Be a 4th ace for China. 3 of them belong to Jump. Someone else getting in on the act now, and this is a jump float serve ace there. A rarity. No challenge from Canada. Forced through the block by Nick Hogue. Italy with Sir Safety Perugia. It's a busy domestic season for him in the Italian top division. generally speaking, the middle attackers have been working well today, and both setters feeding a lot of ball down the middle. Bigras and Burkel have made 8 points through the middle for Canada. For China, equally impressive, 8 points for Chen and Rao. Slightly worrying sign, that's Jiang just holding his shoulder. Another point through the middle. Another point for Chen, takes him to 5. And takes China to a 4-point lead at the first technical timeout in set 3. It's rather too big a lead for this Canadian team to relax about.
You know, focus on his hand, watch the ball, get angled, right? Get ready to move, okay? Ready?
Salgo. Follow y lectura. Follow y lectura. Vamos. Living. Lo opuesto va a empezar a atacar más. Vamos a sacar la primera línea.
The alarm bells would ring for me if the coach has stopped talking for quite a while and the translator has added a little bit extra. It seems to be working so far for China. Van Berkel's been good today, been really impressive through the middle. The tallest player on the Canadian side at 2 meters and 10. And alongside John Gordon Perrin in the front court. That's a really tricky obstacle for the Chinese players to get past. Away we go again. And the wheels are coming off here for the team in black. This is not good. And if they're not careful, China are going to build a big enough lead for them to defend it all the way through. Another ace serve. This is getting a little bit worrying. 5 aces from China. They will have the Jiang serve to deal with it in a couple of rotations' time as well. Oh, goodness me. Well, that's a really good hit from Dai, I have to say. This is a superb ace serve. Really fluid through the ball. And he's got it right down that horrible channel of miscommunication between Blair Ban and his captain Perrin. Great expression, isn't he, when he's messed up, Dai? Leaves you in no doubt what he's thinking. But 5 points, the lead. China have done some damage here. They've got to protect this now. Canada can close it by 1, and they do. Chinese libero just hobbling about after this one. Good pass. Just thought it was going to be okay, but it's drifted past Jiang. Now, if he's the backcourt setter, he's not allowed to do that in the front line, but I think he's the front court setter. We're going to see a challenge here. Now, I think the referee is suggesting that this was played in Canadian airspace. But the challenge itself is for a net fault. So, net touch by the Canadian blocker. Lozano seems pretty confident here, whereas Glenn Hogue looks a little perplexed. Canada need this point, really. Mind you, so do China, to be fair. They need to protect this lead. We, of course, just get to enjoy the privilege of the extra dimension that Hawkeye brings us. When you see these slow-mos, I know they're specifically there to answer the question. Did it touch the block? Did the hand touch the net? Was the ball in or out? In particular on the slow-mos, it just gives you extra look at the athleticism of these players. Easy to forget just how high above the net most of this action is occurring. And they're having a good long look at this one. Here we go, net touch. That looks fine to me from Jan. There is no net touch. But it is also a reminder there that, well, I think Jan is unlucky. So China lose a challenge. Canada kick the ball and the point and reduce the 5-point lead to 3. They really need another 1 or 2 here. But it's quite a long delay before this next serve by Nick Hogue. Just controls it in court. That's not a great pass. And China get away with one. Well, we're going to challenge this one as well, are we? Because as far as Blair Ban is concerned, he's managed to pancake this one back into the air. He says that's up. He says that hasn't touched the floor, and he's pretty confident about it. No challenge, though, forthcoming. Ban eventually talked out of it by his teammates. Off pace, oh dear. Well, the number of times that China have let the ball hit the floor like this is unacceptable at this level, and it's causing them a lot of problems. This was in the air for ages. That's an easy defensive play, and for some reason, the Chinese setter Jan just not going for it. Letting it hit the floor and giving Canada another chance to reduce the lead. Vigras. That's a good hit. That was not easy to find the court, but Rao just controlled it. He's not hit this ball hard. He's hit it very cleanly, very accurately onto the sideline. That's a good piece of middle attacking. Well, the danger serve for Canada, and it's earned them another point. Monster block follows another huge hit at the service line from Jan. The monster block is going to cause Canada a few problems here. That's a brilliant stop. And the number 17, Liu, sticks another point in the bank. Moves him to 7.
Let's go, guys. Right, make sure we cover it. Let's go. Canada. Here we go.
So 13-8 China lead. Canada forced to burn a timeout. And they've done it because of the server. This has been one of the most impressive service displays that we've seen on the VNL so far this season. Every time Jan comes around to the service line, he's caused problems for Canada. What Glenn Hogue hopes is that his timeout is going to get to Jan, but Jan just seems such a cool customer. I don't think stuff like that bothers him. He just gets up there and cranks the next ball. Here we go then. Can he put another one in court? He can. Great serve as well. Really heavy hit. Oh dear. Well, Dai this time, not the most mobile of wing spikers. He was the one that had to go for this ball. It's a decent off-pace attack, and the blockers are unlucky not to get on that one, but too many balls hitting the floor too easily on the Chinese side of the court. Another good rotation here for Canada. Not able to stop Jiang. He moves to 7 points for the game now. Dai is the leading attacker or point scorer for China on 11. Shot. Yeah, nice work. But that's 3 in a row, isn't it, from Canada? 3 off-pace attacks landing inside the 3-meter line. none have been defended by China. That's a pretty poor effort from Zhang. I think Zhang, the Chinese setter, is got a really sore knee at the moment, not moving particularly well, the number 19. And he's not the only one limping, Zhang. Both teams limping through this set at the moment. This isn't great. Middle blocker Rao at the service line for China. 5-point lead restored. Good serve. Oh, wow. Well, it looked like a monster block from Dai, but it's just gone wide of the sideline, according to the official and the end line judge. No challenge from China. They would have been within their rights here, but no, just sneaked off the arms and away. Can Canada nick a couple of points before the next technical timeout? They can nick one at least. Well read by the blockers. Vigras in the middle. Going in the right timing here with the pipe attack. Not at all interested in the middle blocker. Another point on the Van Berkel serve will be useful for Canada. China need to side this out. No, a miss from Dai. Apology to teammates and coach. Again from China. They had the lead, they had this set by the scruff of the neck, and they're just gradually giving it away again. Good slow down block. Later off pace, nice pick up from the libero, and another set arrives under the armpit of the middle player. You just can't hit those. And as well as Canada have played over the last couple of minutes, decent serving from Van Berkel, really. China, the architects of their own downfall. And that's the sign of a less experienced team. Getting a bit panicky out there on court. Can they lead by 2 at the technical? Unlikely. Oh, they can. There we go. Chen picks up a bonus block. That was not on the cards. Good read, though, from the middleman. 16-14 is the lead for China at the second technical timeout.
Right there. Side out and go. Side out and go. Come on, guys. Okay. 1-2, Canada. Here we go, guys. Here we go, guys.
Estamos muy largo. Bajen más acá para el toque.
你要稍微往前面一点，注意吊球啊！不要推到那个边线上了，好吧？这两号也是，注意吊球啊！
Después hay un toque.
他这边吊
Están bajando tarde.
好吧？你先下球快了，下球快了，好吧？来。
Just can't beat it, can you? It feels like you're actually in the timeout. Great to watch the body language of the coach, watch his communication with the team, but watch the players as well. Next time out, watch the players, watch their reaction. So Jiang, the opposite to serve for China. Good serve, brilliant pick up from Blair Ban. And that is the way to sort it out. Great work from the Canadian libero. Fantastic set from Brett Walsh. Huge kill from the captain, Perry. This is terrific stuff. Edge of the envelope for Canada, but very nicely negotiated. Sclater. Good hits in response for the ace. And Canada coming back with a bit of their own firepower from the service line. Well, he wasn't shaping to hit that ball particularly hard, and he's battered it at 110.3 kilometers per hour off a relatively restricted arm swing. Can't do it twice in a row, though. But back to a side-out game. Canada serve themselves into contention. Now, if they attack and kill it, they're level. That's a side-out game. Nope, long from Dai. Wanted to get in on the ace party, but didn't do so. 17 all. No comment from Dad. Misses his serve, leaves the court. Oh, monster block from Vigras. That's gone vertical. The arms of the Canadian middle blocker. Enjoyed that one. There are some monsters out on court, but look at that. Beautiful form in the air, really balanced. Oh, float serve down the line. Just not directed back into court by Liu. Another ace. This time from the middle blocker, Vigras. This would have moved a bit in the air. This would have cut away from Liu, but positioned himself particularly well for that pass. China call a timeout.
Una cosa sobre el bloqueo. Nuestros saques dejan la recepción de ellos separada. Está quick, doble bloqueo. Lectura, doble bloqueo. No podemos dejar uno.
Once again, you can hear that urgency in the voice. Coach Raul Lozano done all the hard work in this set, China. Danger now of just handing it all over to Canada for a 3-0 win. Vigras to serve. He's got a really good change-up floater. Hasn't worked on this occasion, but that's impressive serving for the number 17 from Canada. Face out on court for China. Du is in. Blair Ban replaces blocker Vigras. Now, alarm bells, danger signs. Zhang at the service line for China. Canada have to get themselves out of trouble here. Reuse play. Oh, China can win the point. Zhang, opposite. Zhang puts it away. And once again, Canada in bother on this rotation. It's incredible, isn't it? They had 3 goes at that and couldn't put it away. No such problem for Zhang. Takes him to 8 points for the game. And Canada must side this ball out. They can't let Zhang get away with too much more. And that's a really nice call on the timeout. Long delay from Glenn Hogue. But you saw Zhang just toss the ball away there when the buzzer went. He doesn't appear to care.
Swing, cover. Okay, so I go for these 2. All right, let's rotate this one out.
Here we go. 1, 2, Canada, come on. Yeah, they have so much trouble.
Bloqueo open, lo prende el 6.
注意啊，可能并不上了，跟住服的话。
cambio, la paralela es la menos fuerte, ¿ok?
离前防守，离前防守
Point.
啊！
Now, tried the timeout tactic on Jan last time, and he hit a really hard serve after the timeout. He looks pretty chilled there as well, doesn't he? The left hand has been serving beautifully. In again. This is stunning. It's pinged off the blocker. In play. Ah, Jang on the floor, courtesy of Perrin and Van Berkel. Boy, did Canada need that point. They use their get-out-of-jail card with another monster block from Perrin and a little puff of the cheeks. They did not want this to go to 4. Canada want this over in 3. Maximum points, maximum set ratio. Good rotations to come with Walsh serving. No, that's not great. From China, that's even worse. From Canada. Goodness me. DeRocco with a yell of exasperation when that point goes away. Because that should have been controlled and it should have been Canada's play. Instead, China edge ahead again. 21-20. This race to 25. Can they get it right this time? China calling a substitution. So Du leaving the court, Dai coming back on. Dai's been effective in front court. He's a tall wing spiker. Couldn't stop that, but that's a beautiful dig. And another huge block from Canada. Oh, that is sensational. Got to feel a little bit sorry for Tong, the Chinese libero, because that was some pickup off an open hit. Back it came. Canada line all 3 men up on the subsequent hit. As far as Liu, the man that hit it, was concerned, that was going to miss the court. Well, Perrin, Canada's top point scorer, couldn't do it there. Lead handed back to China. And it's another rather stuttering performance at the back end of this set from both teams. Rao. Jump float serve from the Chinese middle blocker. It's passed, but not great. DeRocco, been on the bench for a long time, asked to hit one. Jiang, oh, that's massive. Super spike from the number 2 for China, Jiang on the opposite. He has hit this ball really hard. Here it comes. Ball played over. Free ball, easy pass. And he's whacked it inside, and Sclater's pretty lucky there because he didn't know anything about that. Fizz past his head. Hogue back in for DeRocco. I think they're 1 point too late with that substitution, or are they? Welcome back to the court, Nick Hogue. 3 set points this time for China. Well, Canada are going to challenge here because they think that the server has put his foot on the baseline. And it's Glenn Hogue has seen this, but I think sometimes coaches just use this just to slow things down. Haven't got a timeout, haven't got a substitution, just burn a challenge. If you got one there, use it. So, baseline out of bounds for the server. You can't step on it, you can't step over it. Until, that is, you've hit the ball. Hawkeye will tell us what happened. Nowhere near. Absolutely nowhere near. So it was just a tactical decision, just to slow things down, get in the head of the server. Well, we're going to see if it worked. Rao to serve again. 3 set points for China. Another horrible pass. Sclater works it off the block and down. average defending deep in the court. This ball's slowed down. Again, in the air a long time. No, Liu got nowhere near it. Still 2 set points, though. Van Berkel will serve. China have 2 chances to attack to win the set. Here comes the first of them. And it is not going to come back, despite the best efforts of Brett Walsh and his teammates. And Canada just stand there and look at each other. They've got to do it all again. And China played well enough in that set, particularly off the back of the fantastic serving of Jan, to suggest that they can potentially take another set and cause Canada a few nightmares here in Chicago. First 2 sets then go to the USA, 25-19, 25-23, but a strong performance in set 3 from China, 25-22. It's 2-1 on the scoreboard in favour of the team in black, but it means Canada must continue to give this Chinese team respect. There's enough quality out there on court to cause them problems here today. So not the 3-0 victory Canada were after. They're going to have to do it in 4. I'm sure China, though, will have other ideas. Come up with all sorts of wonderful explanations for what's just happened there. Chen then, middle blocker at the service line to get set 4 underway. And that's a decent start from this Canadian team. I think they'll be frustrated that ball didn't go back into play. Again, a shame because it was good pressure from the Vigras serve. Doing just enough against a slightly fractured Canadian block. Now, here we go. What's Jan got for Canada in set 4? He's tortured them from the service line. He's given them all sorts of trouble. And again, great serve. Can Canada get out of trouble? Perrin can't put it away. Last, we've got a mega rally developing and beautifully finished on a free net. What a wonderful illustration of what a setter can do for their hitters when they get it right. No blockers in sight. After some excellent defense on both sides of the net to prolong the rally war, 28.8 seconds. Spare a thought for the middle players who have to go on every single time that ball crosses. They have to attack and jump on the block. Tong just couldn't defend on the open hit. Great setting from Brett Walsh. More importantly from Canada, they've seen the first Jan service onslaught off. Again, two guys is the call. Just letting Perrin know what's up against him, what he can go with. Goes with the power tip. Play those shots when you're 2 meters and 5 tall. Well, it's a monster block, but it was fed by Brett Walsh. Every good setter knows, don't feed the blockers. That's a really nice stop from Jan. Gets high, points the hands and the arms back into court, and Ryan Sclater shut down. This time from the other side of court, Ryan Sclater trying to turn it, but turning his whole body as he hit the ball, dragging it out over the baseline. Canada have been dragged into a bit of a scrap here. This is not great volleyball from either side. Players will be the first to tell you. This is going to have to be a lot of hard work to get this one. Straight down the inside of the blocker. Van Berkel just asking if he'd got the block, but no, he was too far away from the net. Got to seal the net, got to penetrate over the net. If you don't do that, you leave room for the weak spikers to work. Shoved it down the front of Van Berkel's shirt. 9 points at the moment in the bank for Liu. 7 attacks, 2 blocks, no aces. He won't be getting one here. And that was a very heavy hit from Perrin. Sounds like sacks of gravel being dropped on the court. They're hitting this ball so hard. Good off-pace serve. Little awkward, but he's managed to disguise that well enough against the player they've picked on most in service. Canada have really gone after #1 Dai. And that puts Perrin into the 20s with that ace. Does him again. Better pass. And a very good hit from Dai. He took that personally. Canada cannot get away from China. There's a few concerned looks on the Canadian players' faces down there. They've lost all their rhythm again in this match. That's better from Sclater. His 17th cap today, Ryan Sclater has been in the shadow. A couple of players, and in particular Sharon Vernon Evans in the last season, who's really burst onto the scene, the 20-year-old. Those exceptional stats. I mean, who touches 3 meters and 74 in the air on a spike approach? It's crazy. Vernon Evans does for one. So Sclater's got some pretty big shoes to fill, and he's doing a good job. 2 decent hits back-to-back from the opposite spiker. Touches 347 on his spike approach, Sclater. So just gives you an idea of the difference in the numbers between he and the man he's replaced. Nice work from Dai. Completely strands setter Brett Walsh. Good work. Nice pass from Blair Ban. good feed from Walsh to Vigras. Vigras buries it for his 5th point of the game. Technical timeout arrives and Canada just nudging ahead.
I see it like a bit of a wall, then I remember he's 17 feet tall. Let's go, let's go. Hey, keep going, guys. Yes, boys, energy, let's go. Let's go. 好像用中极限20下，这个让小童来防了，直线上就让小童来防。他打了又打了，这个直线上就让小童
Music from the DJ aimed at Canada, I'm sure. We've got to hold on for what we got. We've got to do exactly that right here. Coming out of this technical timeout, Canada mustn't let it slip again. Got to be strong through the mid-phase of this game. Otherwise, Canada are looking dangerous enough to cause some problems here. China have played pretty well today. Phases. Still too many things going wrong for them, giving too many points to Canada for free. 16 points so far then for Ryan Sclater. Oh dear. Well, Dai wasn't quite sure what he wanted to do with that ball, and by the time he made his mind up that he was going to volley it, the chances of that being a legal shot were virtually zero. Have to screw his hands back on and go again. Perfect start to the mid-phase for Canada. Hitting the ball hard, Sclater gets the overpass, dispatched in muscular fashion by Graham Vigras at the net. Had to joust that one out, but he's done a decent job with it. So Du coming in for rather dejected Dai. Do or die. And it's do at the moment. Whoa. Going hard off the hands. A challenge from Canada because Glenn Hogue immediately let the rest of his team know that had touched his fingers, so no waste a challenge. To serve. Straight substitution this one for Dai. I see him stay on. That's an unusual pass. Well, you don't often let the middle players go near a service reception. So well played, number 17, Graham Vigras gets in on the action, pops it straight on his setter's head. It's a nice feed to the hitter that is currently hot for Canada, Ryan Sclater. Pass. A great set from John, though. Free ball for Canada. Wide to Perrin. Can't put it away, though. Not a problem for Liu, and another wasted opportunity for Canada. Too many of those today. Ball under control, not able to kill it. Serious hang time from Vigras. His spike approach, he can touch 3 meters and 54. Just to put that in context, the men's net height is 2 meters and 48, so at his full extension on a spike approach, he is way over the top of the net. Needed all of it there to hit it. That's a pretty ugly rally. China going to challenge this. I'm not really sure from Van Berkel's expression whether he was saying to his team, I touched it or not. So it's a net touch as opposed to the ball touching the block, which is what Canada originally thought the challenge was going to be for. So Orkan will tell us whether one of the Canadian players collided with the net. Remember, the net is strictly out of bounds from place. In a brief spell with the rule where incidental touches were allowed. But that's all gone now.
Yes.
Totally out of bounds. Walking in the land of the giants, Lozano. He's always looking up to all his big men. He is been around in the game for a long, long time now. A few coaches that know it better. Does he know his onions on this occasion? Has he got this challenge right? Knows his team needs this point. Sometimes takes a little while just to find the exact angle that will give us the answer that we need. The answer Lozano needs is for this to be given as a net touch against Canada, so that will be an automatic full point China, which puts a very different complexion on the scoreboard.
Go ahead. Go. Go.
Referee Ortiz having a good long look at this.
No, no.
Sometimes the referee has to consider every angle available, and there's plenty available from Hawkeye to make absolutely sure about the decision. And Glenn Hogue having a little chat with Raul Lozano. I think both coaches making their feelings known about the time it's taking the referee to check this.
All right. Only net touch.
It's Lozano almost saying, I'll tell you what, forget about it, this is play.
Yes. Only net touch. All right.
Well, we'll be told shortly. The problem for the players is trying to keep the heads in the game, keep going. And if Lozano loses this challenge, well, the only benefit is he might have taken the sting out of what looked like Canada were starting to find a bit of momentum, a bit of rhythm. Pressure's on the ref here.
Different position.
If you've been asked the question, you've got to get it right. That's the facts. And in the main, the whole challenge system has worked brilliantly. But I think there may be an issue here over what the challenge actually was. So, transgression from the Canadian captain. And he has stepped a long way under the net.
Bola again. All right. Fall the center line.
Now, it's all just being explained to the Canadian captain, Brett Walsh, getting involved just to calm his captain down.
Yes. Yes. No. No doubt.
Well, players don't always completely know what's happened. A lot of us think we know what's happened, but it's not always the case. So I think that probably wins longest challenge of the year. Well, it's gone China's way. It's going to take Perrin a little while just to cool down. And bizarrely, wouldn't you know it, who's waiting at the line for Canada? It's only old Mr. Super Server for China. And Jan has just hurt them so badly with his serving today. Doesn't have to be an ace, just has to get enough pressure onto the serving unit to cause a problem. He just doesn't miss. But he's been stopped in his tracks by another great Sclater kill. Brett Walsh will have logged that mentally. Sclater is still the hot hitter at the moment for Canada. Decent stop by the Canadian blockers. And that's a brilliant pick-up from Blair Ban. Oh, no. It's been shoveled out of court. And I think Blair Ban's hurt himself here. That was a fairly hefty landing off a huge dive. Slater remains hot. Walsh continues to feed him. Decent pass from Blair Ban, who I think is just feeling the effects of that last dive. But that was right on Walsh's head. Back to Perrin. One element of his game hasn't worked today. He's hit one ace serve, but he hasn't served particularly well. That's better. And this should work. No, too much of an overpass, and China's still in the rally. Canada trying to be too precise, and they're quite fortunate there that Jiang has wailed that one out of court. Decent set from Walsh. Under real pressure there. 20 points then for Canadian captain John Gordon Perrin. Another weighty serve. A nice fluid attack out wide to the new man on court, Du. Has replaced Dai. That's a super spike. Not a particularly tall wing spiker, Du. Watch the rise on this jump. Good feed from Jan. Nice pin on the middle blocker and a nice wide open line for Du to finish. Follow an absolute stinker of a serve again from Rao. So, second technical timeout arrives. Canada not out of the woods yet, but if you'd offered them a 16-12 lead at the start of this set, they would have taken it. So, 4-point lead. Van Berkel with a low-risk serve. Should be able to keep this in. He does. But straight back off the timeout. China would have liked the side out. It's a nice hit from Jiang, but it's wide of the court. Looked good. Didn't score. 5-point lead, Canada. Looking better and better for the Canadians here. Well, Du's done a good job since he's come on court, the number 11 for China, replacing the top scorer for China at the moment in this game, Dai. Bit of a bruiser is Du, hits the ball hard, doesn't jump particularly high, but gets the job done. Two errors in a row from Jiang. And this match drifting away now from the bottom team in the VNL. Very nice pass. Shoulder defense from Slater, and a nice bit of blocking from Nick Hogue. Nothing flash, just good timing. Decent pickup from Slater, carried on by Ban, a little bit tight to the net, but Nick Hogue applying the right principle. Touch the ball second, you can win the joust.
La pelota no tengo que buscarla sobre la línea, tengo que buscar un metro adentro. La pelota no tengo que tirar acá, tengo que tirar ahí. Entonces, vayan a buscar la solución.
It's been a theme really for Lozano's timeouts, talking about how his hitters should be going off the Canadian block, but also initially just that suggestion that the Chinese performance is just continuing to drop. Ryan Slater to serve again. He's hit some very powerful serves. Stand again, and there we go. Nick Hogue waiting for a second win on the joust at the net. Canada away and clear. now just about putting this one to bed. Chinese timeout called by Raul Lozano. Not sure there's much their Argentinian coach can say to them from here that will change this situation.
No cambió el partido, no cambiaron los sacadores. Son los mismos sacadores, el mismo bloqueo que recién. Vamos a seguir jugando, a recuperar el ritmo de juego y a seguir jugando. Quiero primer tiempo y pipe. Vamos por el centro.
So that's Raul Lozano's last chance to stop the game with a timeout. Still has a challenge, or could make a substitution to delay what looks like the inevitable. 25 the target. Canada 5 more to get to post their first win of the weekend, but they will want to play a lot better against Japan, and in particular against the USA, if they're going to keep the wins coming. Nice. Very nice. Super spike, but it's off another really brilliant piece of setting from Jan. Using the blocker to take the other two. The middle blocker doing his job, and then a lovely feed, just a little side tandem out to do. Another pass from Vigras. It's cumbersome defense from China. Free ball, Canada. Whoa. Has hit that very hard into the opposite spiker on the other side of the net, Jiang. If this would have been going out, hit this hard, hit Jiang in the chest, I think. Oh, that might have been flirting with the sideline there. Very powerful shot, though, from Ryan Sclater. 21-14 Canada. Nick Hogue. Good serve. It's coming back. Free ball, Canada. Time for fireworks. Oh, over on two. And he knew he could do it because China were waiting for the big guns. Big hit from Hogue. That's what put the pressure on. And although China did well to give it back, it's a training exercise from here, and Walsh benefiting from the fact the Chinese blockers were waiting for something else to happen. Thought Nick Hogue was pretty close to the end line there. China don't win this point, they may challenge. No, doesn't matter. John Gordon Perrin off balance, falling sideways, didn't get a proper approach on it. Easy to put the ball in court with pressure from there. Left that, and Ryan Sclater wasn't paying full attention, I don't think. It nearly hit him. Here we go. 2 to get. Vigras to serve. That brings Van Berkel back to the front line. Middle position. Just brushes Vigras on the way past. Liu gets himself another kill, takes him to 12 points for this game. Well, here we go. Last hope for China. Jan at the service line. Oh, my goodness me. The first time in the whole match that he's done anything wrong from the service line, and he shoves it in the net to give Canada plenty of match points. Here we go then. Good lineup for Canada in the front court. Brett Walsh can put this into play, see if the block can get the job done. Hogue, decent bit of defense. Perrin still can't put it away. Good pick up from Walsh. Bang goes wide to Perrin on the cross court, just hammers it straight into Rao's block. Plenty of match points though for Canada. Just one successful attack or one error from the service line by China. This will be the win for Canada, and there it is. Well, they took their time. They could have done without losing that third set, that's for sure. But Raul Lozano unable to engineer anything else for his Chinese team. Canada get this across the line, 25 points to 17. Good to see Sharon Vernon-Evans up and walking after the ankle injury that took him out of the game after just a couple of points. I think it might have been a very different prospect if he'd have still been out there on court, but he's walking well enough. That's good news. So 25-19, 25-23 in the first two sets. China hit back in the third, 25-22. Canada run away with it easily in the fourth, 25-17. That means Canada open their account here in Chicago in week 4 on the VNL with a 3-1 victory. But they've got tougher challenges to come, Japan and the USA. But they need wins. Canada need wins. So the obligatory celebration selfie belongs to Canada this time around, after the celebrations, of course, have finished in full. There we go. A win is what they came for, a win is what they got. Unfortunately, not at no expense. An injury to Sharon Vernon-Williams is definitely a concern. Well, it was unfortunate when you ping an ankle, and they take time to recover from as well, so I don't think we'll see the opposite in action for the rest of this week as Nick Hogue goes across for a chat with the fans at the sideline. It's nice to see from the Canadian players. Quite a few Canadian fans making the effort to come along and support, and they've managed to support their team to a 3-1 victory, comfortably outscoring the Chinese team. Blocks were impressive, but China's serve, and particularly Zhang, put a lot of pressure on Canada there, and at times they couldn't really cope with it. But Canada will be happy enough. They've got that across the line. They just need to tidy things up against Japan and the USA. So that's it from our first game here in Chicago. Time to just take a little check on how things are going on the VNL league table. And, Canada should certainly have improved their situation. 3-1 it is. And Canada take a win from day one. So that's it for game 1 in week 4. And thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the game.